Before we have our proper discussion, let's have first to be led to us by your classmates. Mr. Ed, we lead the prayer. Is that all?
Dear God, this morning, your classes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Before you take your seat, you arrange your chairs and tables as well as if there are garbages, you pick those and you throw it at our trash bin. Okay? If you are fixed, then you can take your seat.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll have an attendance. You sit according to your star seat plan. We have Mr. Ed.
Present.
How about Miss Bahenteng?
Yes.
And Miss Carnice? Okay, very good. You're all present. A round of applause to yourself. Okay, we discussed yesterday about very good culture. So what do you mean by culture? Anyone? Yes, Miss Bahenteng.
According to Edward Taylor, it talks about the way of life or the way of living. And culture has two types, the material and non-material. In material, it talks about the things such as artifacts, and in non-material, it talks about the opinions, norms, and beliefs.
Okay, very good. A round of applause to Miss Bahenteng. Very good. Last meeting, we discussed about culture. When we say culture, according to Edward B. Taylor, it is the way of living of people. It is the customs, the beliefs, the values, the artifacts. And of course, there are two types na na-mention. We have the material culture. This refers to the tangible things. Artifacts, materials of the way of people. And then, we have the non-material. This refers to the non-tangible things. Meaning to say, it cannot be touched or grasped. So, those refers to the norms, habits, or values of the people. So, very good. Now, if there are questions regarding the last topic, regarding culture. None so far? So if none, topic which is globalization. So the structures of globalization. Okay. At the end of this session, you will be able to have these objectives. So what are our objectives for today's lesson? You read in unison.
Define globalization. Construct a graphic organizer depicting globalization and its related concepts, and value the importance of globalization through writing an essay and making it global.
Basically, after the end of this discussion, you will be able to define globalization, construct a graphic organizer, as well as cite the importance of globalization through an essay and a slogan. Let's move forward. What do you mean by globalization? I have here pictures relating to globalization. What can you decipher of this picture? What this picture showcases? How about Sir Ed?
Find the somewhere there that big part of that map. The other is the Pepsi, Nestle, Coca-Cola, Nokia. These are things that depicts or what is meant globalizations. Okay, that's all.
Round of applause to Ed. If you can see here in our picture, a world map showcasing the different trademarks or products of the different countries. As you can see, McDonald's, we have the CP, Google, Samsung. They originated from different parts of the world. Even though we haven't been there in original place of Google, but we are utilizing Google. So they are the product of globalization. Okay, another one. How about this one? Any views or insights? Yes, Miss Bahenteng, you're raising your hand.
So I observed in that picture, in globalization, that there are distributing products in different countries. People were migrate to buy those products in any countries, such as smartphones or some products that they have been used importantly.
Okay, very good. A round of applause to Miss Bahenteng. Okay, so basically, is it possible that in just one location, there are trademarks of the different nations that could be found in that specific area? Of course, there are different tourists, migrants that are inhabiting this place. Now, how about this one? Miss Carnice, you're raising your hand.
Because of globalization, communication between different countries become easier.
Good. Very good. A round of applause to Miss Carnice. Now, if you can see here in the picture, there are laptops or different people. It's like a manipulation of information. Even we are going to know what is happening around the world through globalization, through information, through multimedia, through digital technologies. Then it's been easier. So if you try to compare before, if you want to send a message, you will have a lot months or even years just your letter to be sent there. But now it becomes easier in just a millisecond. And just one click away, your message will be sent to other parts of the world. Like for instance, you are using Messenger. Messenger, your message will be sent to USA just a click away. Globalization. Yes, Ms. Behente.
So globalization, it is an interconnectedness of people and business, which leads to the global cultural or political and different.
Very well said. Very good. Follow-up question, my dear. Is it beneficial or detrimental?
Yes, it is beneficial, and because globalization, there are some goods that can be produced in the people.
Okay, thank you. How about, yes, Ms. Carnes, what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of globalization? Can you cite at least one?
Globalization causes unemployment. Also, globalization leads to environmental problems.
Very good, exactly. So let's give them a round of applause. So, how about as a student? How have you experienced globalization? Yes, Ed.
My experience is communication is so easy. In terms of educations, so a lot of things are being introduced to us. So far, that's my experience. Thank you.
Okay, very good. A round of applause. So, meaning to say, there is like a global village. Geographical distance is not longer a barrier. Okay, because of globalization, we can know different updates and it becomes easier. Transportation becomes easier, it's very convenient if we compare before in our school. So what do you think? Why is globalization? It's like a multi-dimensional. Yes, Ms. Panteng, you raise your hand.
For me, globalization is multifaceted because in this situation wherein the products was being moved freely and being traded into the other countries.
Okay, very good. A round of applause. Now, multifaceted because globalization is multidimensional. It has multiple lenses. Meaning to say, it is just not just focusing in one aspect, but to different aspects, be it political, social, economic, or cultural aspect. Okay? Now, let's have a scenario about globalization. Okay, can you read? We have Carnice, you read this statement.
Zaren is a college student. He drinks Milo with his usual corned beef and rice for breakfast every school day. Likewise, he sends his hi message to his special friend. He talks to his dad, who works in Dubai via Skype on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday nights.
Okay, very good. So, thank you, Ms. Carnice. So, basically, in our everyday living, it is a product already of globalization. From the moment we wake up, so basically, in your own everyday living, it is a product of globalization already. So, as you can see here. Now, what do you mean by globalization? According to Manfred Steger, 2018, what do you mean by globalization? You read in unison?
Is the expansion and intensification of social relations and consciousness across world time and across world space.
Okay, what do we mean? Let's highlight here the expansion and intensification. Because basically, it becomes easier. It's become more convenient in our everyday living. So like for instance, we have earlier sent message. If you want to send a message, you will have to use digital technologies for easier. In just one click away, your message will be sent abroad. There. So it becomes easier. And then, if you try to have expansion, like for instance, you have a business, so you want to have your business abroad, so of course, you will have the branches. Then of course, you have interactions, social relations to other people here. So you will have partnership with the different nationalities there for your business to grow, to have a branches. So expansion. And intensification, how will you intensify your business? Through using electronic trading, marketing purposes, using different platforms, multimedia, magazines, newspapers. So for your business to boom immediately for marketing purposes. And we have world time and world space. So what does it mean? world time, even at the same time. Pwede na siya, it's just a millisecond. It's easier. And then world space, there are no geographic distance is no longer a barrier. So, like for instance, you want a laptop, Samsung laptop from the China. So, how are we going to have that laptop even here? You are here in the Philippines, you can have online selling. You can order online, then transport that to here, then eventually you have there the product of China. So basically, it becomes easier. So let's have here, Food Panda. You want to order something, you just a click of second. You just want to order, then you have the food. There. So that's a product of globalization. So another example, you have the phone. Your phone, let me show you your phone, this pendant, okay, there. So your phone is from, let's say, US, Huawei, US, okay? So those raw materials there are coming from China. So who will be the workers to assemble those phones? Basically, the USA will hire Filipinos, workers. And then, how are they going to transport the products? So another global partnership with different countries around the world. Transportation. And how are they going to market? Through electronic trading, you can use platform, Facebook, Google, and other websites. And there, that's product of globalization. Okay? Then we will have, according to Arjuna Padurai, globalization is the different kinds of scape. What we mean by this? Meaning to say it is multidimensional, multiple lenses, and we call that one globalization as scape. The scape, they have different dimensions. Accordingly, you need to remember the TFIEM. T-F-I-E-M. TFIEM. So, globalization could be seen in technology, movement of technology, hardware, software, technoscape. We have also financescape through the global circulation of money. Current exchanges, stock markets, there. We have import and export, tariffs of the product, that's under financescape. Then we have also ideas, movement, humanitarian rights, environmental concerns, climate change, fears of terrorism, Republic Act 110479. So what do we mean by that? The ideas coming from abroad. So we have ideascape, that's globalization. Then we will have ethnoscape. Ethnoscape is the global movement of people. Migration, tourist path. What's the reason why people move from one country to country? That's fall under ethnoscape. And we have mediascape, the global movement of information through using media. There. What are happening around the world? The news in China, in France, in Canada, and UK. We will know that one, even though we haven't been there. So that's mediascape, information. So it's very easier. Of course, globalization has not just a concept. It will bring advantages and disadvantages. Are there any questions or clarifications? Okay, let's have a review. What do you mean by it's a process, a phenomenon of the interactions of people around the world? Globalization. Okay? So according to Arjuna Padurai, there are different scapes that could explain globalization. So what are those scapes? We have TFIEM. First, we have technoscape, financescape, ideascape, ethnoscape, and very good. How about when it talks about the global movement of people? It refers to ethnoscape. How about software, technologies? We have technoscape. Very good. How about global circulation of money? Financescape. Next question. It talks about we have the different information using the media. Mediascape. Okay, very good. A round of applause. So, are there any questions regarding the globalization concepts? Activity or for further elaboration of the topic, I have here a video about globalization. So please pay attention for this video.
Globalization is a widely discussed topic. It is therefore not all that easy to explain such a complicated term in simple words. Let's start from the beginning with the background to globalization. Advances in technology, such as mobile phones, aeroplanes, telephones, and the internet, have made the growth of transport and communication networks possible. Amongst other things, This means that people and countries can exchange information and goods more quickly and in a less complicated way. This process is called globalization. Globalization comes from globe and means the worldwide coming together of countries and nations. There are therefore many sides to globalization which affect almost all aspects of life, causing me to think that the chain of positive and negative effects will continue to grow further. What's important is to realize that globalization itself is neither good nor bad. It just depends how people deal with all the new possibilities in the future.
Okay, so that's it about globalization. Are there any concerns or questions regarding the topic? Okay, none so far. Now let's have a very simple assessment. So you get a piece of paper, a 1/4 sheet of paper, you write only the capital letter of the correct answer. MCQ, having this one, you will be given only for 2 minutes per item. You make a graphic organizer using your paper and you will show the globalization concepts. And after having criteria to be graded, how am I going to rate you in your construction of graphic organizer? Through this one criteria. You define globalization. At the back portion of your graphic organizer, you write there, what is globalization in 5 to 10 sentences only. And of course, you will be graded according to this criteria, total of 15 points. And also, at the back portion of your graphic organizer, you will have to write an essay about the importance of globalization. So same, 5 to 10 sentences only. Start for MCQ. Okay, your timer starts now. Now, you will have to construct a graphic organizer showing globalization and its concept. You will be group number 1 for graphic organizer and group number 2. Very good. Very good. Time's up. You will present your output here in front.
There are 8 dimensions that was proposed in globalization.
Very good. A round of applause. Meaning to say, globalization has a multi-dimensional, has an aspect. Let's have for group number 2. Representative, we have Ed.
Okay.
Okay, you already sent your learning materials. I will project here your output.
Salamat. Here depicts what globalization is all about. For that, that's all. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, very good. We need to say he cited the different advantages of globalization. So we need to say it's easier, it's very convenient nowadays. Okay, a round of applause to our second presenter. Have here for enrichment activity, let's have to be submitted tomorrow, your assignment.
Tomorrow, ma'am.
Yes, po. So tomorrow you make a slogan about the importance of globalization and as well as provide a short explanation. Just a brief one. And you will be graded according to the following criteria. So if there are no questions, let's end here for our topic. Okay, class? See you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Bye, class.